Let's rock. Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
So we are doing developer commentary of episode 5. It's hard to believe, but after 20 years, Alan Blum and Richard Levelord Gray have come back to build all new content for Duke Nukem 3D using a lot in pretty much the original tools. Now the engine is upgraded. This development commentary will talk about some of that. You can also tell that we're able to put a lot more detail in these maps because of increased performance of computer hardware since the last 20 years. It's pretty exciting. We're getting an all-new episode for Duke Nukem 3D in the classic style. The Nintendo 64 version of Duke 3D, they had all the source, and they went in and messed with the maps a little bit. They took the automobile you made in Pigsty, and they put it right there. So there's an automobile right here in Hollywood Holocaust in the N64 version of Duke 3D. Yeah. Who came up with this idea of bleached blonde biker bimbos?
I don't remember.
It feels very George.
Yeah, it's probably George. I think this $1 Million sign is from Blade Runner. There used to be a lot more stuff here. There used to be a bank across the street. There used to be a bridge going across. The corner by the Innocent sign that went to a garage that you started at. Well, all that was reduced because if you stood in this corner, we had to get 20 FPS standing in the corner.
DX266.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
66
An Intel
megahertz.
DX266. Not even a Pentium.
20 frames a second, which is pretty slow.
And we'd cheat. We'd go down to 15. Yeah, I mean, I think we allowed you to shrink the window down too, so you're actually rendering less, and then you could get your frame rate up if you're on a worse machine.
That's funny because if you bring up the console there. We actually got rid of 8 pixels off the top of the screen. That's just black because that gave us a couple frames.
Look at those high-tech fire sprites. The Pyromania CD, I think, was like the bread and butter of effects artists back then. There was this library of all these fire effects called the Pyromania,
and they look so good.
You can just buy the disc, and you have a license to use all those effects.
Yeah,
I still get a kick when I see a movie these days using an effect off of that CD.
If you turn to the right, you go down, there's a fire hydrant. This is one of my favorite things about Duke 3D is, watch this. And if he was damaged right now, he could even walk up and drink from it, and he would get 1 health point for each drink. Like the fact that just any interactivity at all was a miracle back then. This was, I think, your intended critical path for users that didn't find the secret of the rocket launcher, because you could open those doors and go in the back door.
Yeah.
So nice these days. I can put in a bug report on editor issues and they get fixed.
They get fixed.
Yeah.
In fact, they yell at me if I don't report them.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you living with this?
The future.
There's up to 8 players, and the order, the spot that player 1 would spawn in was whichever was the first sprite dropped.
Right.
But every time you saved it, it would reverse. So player 1 would become the 8th position if you saved it again. So you had to always save 2 times, because every odd numbers became even and even numbers became odd every time.
This is what was the teleporter. The one that was the primary teleporter had to be the first one in there.
There's so many
queue.
little idiots. You just you got to become the engine whisperer.
Well, we're doing a re-release, right?
Yeah.
Can I go fix that?
I don't know.
I can't live with it.
Don't save twice.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of
If
that.
you fix it, save it twice.
Yeah, save it twice. There's a spot right over here.
On.
This texture went out, it's misaligned because of that stupid ass bug.
Yeah.
And George would always point that out to me. He's like, "You jerk! Why tell me about that?"
Man, I just realized, these awesome view models, they were done by James Story, and James isn't with us anymore.
No longer.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's going to keep happening. As more time goes by.
Yeah. That was what, last year?
Yeah. Oh, we're in the bathroom.
Yeah, look at that sweet
This is going
mirror.
to be a trigger.
And
See, and you can jump, and it would actually just mirror.
yeah, no mirrors in Doom. So yeah, you
What?
never saw yourself.
The engine will cull everything that is outside the visible set. And if it's not a playable space, like if it's the negative space, if there's no actual sector there, the engine will just say, I don't care, I'm not going to draw you. He's cheating the engine, and he's saying, hey, through that portal, draw this again, just flip one of the axes.
Why does it work for the security camera?
Because it's looking into places that actually exist.
Oh, that's right. Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah, the other thing that I always think on is that mirrors are still a rarity in video games to this day. Here's a problem we solved in '96.
They're expensive.
Yeah, it's so expensive. And
They're expensive from a performance point of view.
Duke needed to see himself, I guess.
That's absolutely correct. You
Modern
can't have a
Duke
Duke game where he's not looking in the mirror. And I think if you use the mirror, hey, I'm looking good.
Phone number over
There it
the
is.
the toilet.
8675309.
Let's not sing it.
Chuck had to do a special, he had to create frames just to have him sitting and get up off the toilet just for that guy.
It was well worth it.
Absolutely.
The George approach to design, he'd be playing through a level like this, and he'd say something like that. Wouldn't it be funny if you opened this and there was an alien sitting on it? And
Yeah.
He would do that all the time.
Yeah. Back then,
remember the
we
phone
didn't have to
number, but not
report
that.
Easter eggs.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a bunch of guys making a game. Yeah, it's like whatever happened, happened. I should put my email address down here in this corner.
Oh, look at that. Stalker@metronet.com.
Striker.
Striker, sorry. Because Major Striker, I'm sorry.
Big difference.
Major Stalker.
Does it still work? Do you still use that email?
No. No. I actually didn't get too many emails. I was afraid I was going to get charged for tons of emails or something like that. But yeah, I got some emails from people saying, "Oh, what the hell is this?"
I found a message.
Yeah, and
prize?
did I win something? Like, no, you won my my thanks. How's that?
Kill me.
There was a
remember this
place
one
in
either.
the projector room that I think that was an accident. It's an idiosyncrasy of the engine where
Yeah.
you can crouch next to the projector and fall through into the hallway.
That was the hidden apartment out front, I think.
Yeah.
And the red apartment, if you went into the corner, you could actually duck down and throw your pipe bombs through and blow up people down
Yeah.
below.
Yeah.
And unintended, and people found it.
Is that the default wall texture down there?
It is, isn't it?
Which one? This one?
That
No,
one.
I don't. I think that's not. Is that default? I don't know.
No, the default was a longer, browner brick.
Yeah,
we use that one all over the place.
This one's set off by an earthquake.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, if you walk here, you got some sector nine.
Because the
separating
the
apart.
joke is that in California there's earthquakes.
It's true.
And this is Hollywood Holocaust.
There are
We
earthquakes.
just had a massive earthquake in LA when this game was being worked on, and I think that's why that was such a prevalent.
yeah.
Like it was on everyone's mind. The Northward quake was like a
Yeah.
6.9 on the Richter scale, wrecked a lot of stuff, destroyed all the freeways, and I think that was in the news. So that's probably why you did it.
Groovy. Don't have time to play with myself.
I don't have time to play with myself.
It's true. And you get to Holoduke. So you can play with yourself.
You can play with yourself. What do you know?
Don't have time to play with myself. Don't have time to play with myself. Don't have time to play with myself. Don't have time to play with myself.
What was the switch inside there? I don't remember that.
You use the arcade machine.
Yeah, that's in
that's-
case you accidentally got closed in
Yeah,
here.
you-
It's the way out.
What kind of idiot would do that?
Yeah, we didn't have QA back then either, so we had to figure that out the hard way.
Play tested more than anything. That's the one thing about this game is we play tested just constantly, every single day.
Yeah.
Notice the sectors rotating on the floor. Those aren't lights being emitted by that. Those are sectors that he's spinning around. They're actually doors. They're rotating doors.
Yeah, put out a pivot point and then tag the sector and watch it go.
That was the first instance of Balls of Steel, the pinball machine. I've got balls of steel. Balls of steel.
Yeah, everything we did was pretty hacky. We didn't have Unreal tech that we have now with tons of features and tons of variables. And it was pretty hacky to have the C9 sprite that you shoot, shrunk it down, and that was a way to tag it, saying make this invisible and do explosions based off something else.
What one designer calls hacky, another designer calls genius.
I think in game design, everything a designer does is a hack.
Yeah.
Until a coder gets tired of it and makes it a feature.
Hail to the king, baby. Where is it? Gonna rip him a new one. Want some? Ooh, I needed that. Come get some. Ooh, I needed that. Groovy. Come get some. Hail to the king, baby. king, baby. Groovy. Yeah, piece of cake. Come get some. Where is it? Wanna dance? Groovy. Come get some. That's gotta hurt. Cool. Hail to the king, baby. Ah.
Gotcha now, you bastard, and we're gonna fry your ass.
Ready for action.